Good evening, everybody. My name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All In Gestures feedback session. We call this Red Line Live. So we basically are taking our members' drawings and doing feedback. So welcome if you're on Instagram or YouTube. And this is also a Q&A. So if you have any questions and stuff, please fire them in there. We have Mr. Matt in my ears, and he's going to be monitoring the questions and any feedback and anything like that. So anyway, so welcome to our members. Who's in the chat? I see Dory. What's up, man? And Miss Erica. And obviously Mr. Matt's with us. So yeah, we got lots to catch up on. We didn't do this the last 2 weeks. So we got lots of drawings to look at and stuff like that. We have a couple of different themes we're going to be playing with. And so we have, well, this is Gratitude Month. We try to pick a theme for the whole month, and gratitude was kind of our thing. And we did Abe Lincoln. What was that? Last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Last week we did Mulan, and before that we did Encanto, the character. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Mirabelle. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna look at some drawings here. Oh, and real quick, just a little housekeeping here. I started posted a gesture drawing basics tutorial. So if you're on Instagram or YouTube, you can click on my little stand store there and check that out. It comes with a bonus 1-hour workshop in addition to the tutorial, and also a special discount code if you want to become a member of All In Gesture. Just throwing it out there, little shameless plug for you. Yeah, man. All right, let's see. We're gonna push some buttons here. Oh, okay. Hold on. Who joined us? RW. RW's on YouTube. What's up, RW? Got some drawings. I think you're up first, actually. And yeah, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Huh. Well. Okay, sorry guys. I'm just pushing some buttons here. Oh. Nope. We're not ready. Welcome to live TV. All right, here we go. Well, while you're waiting, I'm going to throw a video at you guys because that's awesome. Speaking of our members, I'm going to throw out a quick gallery while I'm pushing buttons over here. Sorry about that, guys. But this is our member gallery. Have a look-see. All right. Well, thanks for checking that out. I figured I'd fill a little space there. But we have an archive of over 250 workshops, and our members go through that archive, and we make little galleries to celebrate all the hard work. But speaking of hard work, let's get into this week's stuff. Yeah, man. We have, let's see. We're going to start off with RW. And Wow. Well, maybe not. Well, hang in there, guys. Wow. Mr. Matt. My, whatchamacallit? Keyboard decided to do an adios. Yeah. There it goes. There we go. Okay. Well, guys, I wish I could say this was not normal, but sometimes we have technical difficulties. But we're now on. Here we go. All right, awesome. Tech gremlins are alive and well tonight, and the keyboard's freaking out. Like, what the? Anyway, since none of you can relate to that, which I'm sure you can. Anyway, all right, so we did Abe Lincoln, RW. Here's a drawing. All right, cool. Boy, we had a really good session with Abe. It was awesome. And this one, I was thinking this gets a little boxy, like this whole vibe in here. And I think we can do something. Sometimes you gotta pick a side, you know what I mean? Even if the model is a little different. Honestly, I don't have that in front of me, but I would almost want to let's see here. Let's see, I gotta get warmed up here myself. And yes, maybe the model will have like the hunched, shoulders and things like that. But so the head might be dropping down. But sometimes if it's too straight on, things could look a little bit flat. And I feel like the head almost got too centered with the body, right? And I don't mind like the things coming at you, foreshortening things. That's all right. But I think as a drawing, sometimes you want to maybe make a decision and choose one way or the other when things are just kind of dead on like that. Okay. And the reason is it helps with that silhouette. So if I were to draw in, you're drawing in black, you would never see the face, right, or the head. But with this kind of nudging it over, it's like sometimes it's good to ask yourself, okay, what's the strongest silhouette here? Okay. So yeah, that's all. That's all. But I like that you were thinking about the ground plane. I know we've been talking about that lately quite a bit. And yeah, cool. Alrighty, very good. We can move this over. Okay. Cool. What do we got here? All right, and this one you had specifically asked me to take a look at. So let's take a look at it. All right. And we're going to try to go through these quickly. Like I said, we missed, so that's on me to talk faster. But last couple of weeks. But so this one looks pretty good. Yeah, I think you kind of have this. Hey, Matt, what was this character? Which was this? Mirabelle. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is Mirabelle. So we did Mirabelle from Encanto, and the model was great. It's actually a new model. That was really fun. Yeah, it was great. And so okay, I didn't really explain what I was doing, so let me go back here. This is, I think you got the ground plane thing working pretty good. And I can see what she's doing. I think it's all pretty good. And now I almost want to push this idea of her kind of hunched over, right? And whatchamacallit. And I'm thinking about that whole torso bean thing, that Glenn Villepeu drawing tip, right? And it's just thinking of the rib cage and the hips, like the hip cavity, relating and relating to each other, and drawing it as almost like a single unit. Not that you always have to draw it this clearly, but it's kind of keeping your it's like training your mind to see those two forms together. Because I think with yours it gets a little flat, but if we could do a little bit of overlap here, you know, and then off of the rib cage area, you know, you can have her breast there and the shoulders here, you know. And I like what you did with her hands on her heart. That's totally cool. Love it. But thinking of these forms, and if there's, you know, hips under there, how are they relating, right? And obviously her dress is going to straighten all this leg activity out. But even then, I like to indicate the legs a little bit under there, just in case there's some folds happening with the knees pulling on the fabric, you know, that kind of thing. And her dress could be resting on the ground. But all that to say, indicating that torso will help bring a little solidity, right? And then her hair shape was like that. I don't know what you call that, mushroomy kind of shape. Cool. So just thinking about those two things relating to each other will help bring a little bit of form and solidity. All right. I don't remember. Oh, cool. So we had a comment that said that there's a Don Bluth interview. I think I saw that posted. That must be recent. And he was talking about drawing every sketch with an emotion, you know. And that's really what we're after, you know, doing all this stuff. But great job, RW. Keep it up. Thank you for submitting your work. Let's see. Miss Erica. Beautiful Mulan drawing. I love it. Oh, spinning wheel of death. Hang on. Mr. Gutierrez. What's up, man? On Instagram. Hey, over you folks over on Instagram, if you have any questions, we're monitoring the questions tonight, so feel free, or just hang out. But we love to answer questions. Like, what the heck are we doing here? Or you want to ask about animation, or gesture drawing, or how to cook a good steak. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Beautiful Erica. Really lovely brush pens stuff here. I love the little brother drawing. Very fun. Yeah, I mean, just to be nitpicky, but I wasn't going to say anything about this drawing, but just drawing through. I wish I had the drawing in front of me. I almost want to reverse that hip right there, the sash. We're jumping characters here. For those of you who are just jumping in our live feed, we're making up some time, but we're doing a month of characters related to this idea of gratitude, and Mulan was one of those, and that was actually last week's model. And Archie, the storyboard artist, cool. Awesome, man. Welcome, welcome. But, all right, so I wanted to look at this. It looks like the leg closest to us is the one going up here. I like how you did a little bit of contact there with the butt on the ground. You could really feel the seated position there. That's really good. But drawing through a little bit, I just wanted to get a little bit of solidity. I feel like her legs proportion got a little, I'm being very nitpicky, Erica, because I love this drawing. I think it has a really nice feeling to it. So I'm trying not to go crazy, but you did submit, so it's all your fault. Just kidding. RW, you're welcome. Thanks for submitting. Awesome. But yeah, just drawing through a little bit, thinking about what's underneath that dress. Same old story, right? But overall, a really pretty drawing, a really nice feeling. Yeah. She had some big hair last week. All right, moving on. You're welcome, Erica. Moving that over to the side here. This one, this is another nice pen drawing. Really, again, a nice feeling. This one, I feel like, and again, this is being a little nitpicky because I get it. I think it feels pretty good. I might shift it over, like pick a side a little bit. It's like you have this lovely feeling of sadness in her face. It's gotten a little flat, and so I just feel like I want to favor one side. Again, I don't know all the details of the model because I don't have the videos up or anything, but sometimes I do that, but not today. But I want to like pick the arc of the back and just favor one side. You know what I mean? So I'm going to favor it that way. And I know she had some pretty good sleeves on there. Yeah. I loved how you put the puppy in there for a cute little idea sketch there. Let's see, is it making sense? Okay, here we go. So, all right, I turned off my the other layer you're drawing there, just to give it, when you favor it a little bit, like so what I did is I brought in that far shoulder closer to her head a little bit, and I simplified her hair, so I kind of got her hair out of there. So it's just her arm and just her elbow there. And what I love about little brother being there is that if I'm simplifying this area here, right, I'm creating a nice little staging moment for your puppy, okay? And now that he's in on the story, you know, he's part of the staging now. And I know it was probably an afterthought, or you know, after maybe even started sketching, you thought of it. I do it all the time. But it's one of those things like, oh, this is really going to plus my drawing. I'm going to put the cutest dog in the world, little brother, in my sketch. Oh, thanks, Raul. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Awesome. Okay. Anyway, so I think you get the idea, but we'll move on here. But all that to say, creates a nice little cleaner staging moment. And that's, you know, again, I'm being a little nitpicky. You know, it's been a long day, so filters off, yeah. So yeah, that's all. Look for those little staging moments. All right, moving on. All right, Mr. Corey. All right, we got several pages here. Let's see. This one. Cutting the hair one. Oh, I wish I had that in front of me. That was a tough pose. That was awesome, though. Maybe I have it in my sketch pad back here. Let's see here. Hang on, guys. Looking for my drawings here. So in case you guys are wondering, these are sketches from our Saturday workshop. It's called All in Gesture, and we do that every Saturday. We have a bunch of crazy artist members who come in, and these are the drawings we're going over tonight. So there we go. There it is. Okay. Looks like I was moving my arms around too. So Corey, one thing I like about this drawing, I think I need to nudge it over a little bit, is I like the lean that you got there. Pretty cool. The only thing I really want to tweak at the moment is just getting that ground plane working a little bit better. You kind of have that knee that's closest to us tucked back like that. And again, looking at that ground plane, what's closest to us is going to be a bit more, if that's the ground, right? It's going to reverse that a little bit. Cool. And drop that knee just a little bit. And let's see, what else? I like the lean that you have. It's a very emotional moment. If you, for those of you who are joining us on Instagram or YouTube, we did Mulan last week. We had our model. We have a live model come in the studio here, and we do costumes, and that was our theme. It was really fun. So yeah, man, I think the thing that bothered me the most was that that ground plane. And let's see here. I want to take a look at the business of her cutting her hair was really the main idea. So I was looking at my sketch back there, and I'm going to try to keep your head the way you had it. But I really want her to pull on her hair and relate that sword to it. So she's pulling, you know, like that straight pulling down of the hair. It's like really exaggerate stuff like that, and you're going to get that nice tension. Does that make sense? So I'm going to drop that shoulder a little bit more, grabbing the hair. Yeah, that's about it, I think. Cool. So basically, I just kind of cleaned up that area a little bit, you know, kind of brought the hair out, try to give a little bit more negative space, in that area, like in the middle here. Made a little X there. And, but yeah. But overall, looking good on that lean. I think that really added some nice feeling. Okay. And put Frankie Bay. Welcome back, YouTube, Frankie Bay. Awesome. All right, how are we doing here? All right, Corey. Oh, here's your Lincolns. Okay, cool. Let's see here. We started a little late today, so that's why I was like, oh yeah, why did it get so late so fast? All right. Okay, so we did Lincoln 2 weeks. Was that 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to make him a little bit larger here. So the seated pose on Lincoln. Again, this was 2 weeks ago, and so I don't remember all of the ins and outs, but kind of in a pose like this, he looks a little bit vertical on the torso. So it almost looks like he's a little uncomfortable, you know. So I almost want to pick one side of one way or the other. Like he's going to lean back in the pose in the chair a little bit, or have him really leaning forward or leaning to a side, like, you know, resting his arm weight on one or the other. But I feel like he's kind of in the middle. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick one. He agrees. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's a tough pose. So again, I don't have the model in front of me, but I'm just gonna pick a side just to do it, because I think it can go so many ways, you know. And this is the freedom in gesture drawing, you know, and working even with a model. It's like you can, you know, get inspired by the model and then veer off track, you know, from what's in front of you. And you know, if it's going to make for a better acting or a better idea, you know, or just an idea that you're excited about, you know, and it's like, nope, I love this, I'm going to go for it, you know. Then do that, you know. So I'm just gonna pick a side here. Looks like he's got his hand on his leg or the chair. So I'm just gonna recline him, you know, and looks like Mr. Lincoln's deep in thought. And so that's also a good thing to go for, right? It's like, what is the model thinking? What are they feeling? What are they doing? Like, really try to draw that action, right? That verb or adjective. I don't know. This is why I don't do English class. Okay. So I just favored him one side. Just to give him that reclining vibe. Maybe his hands over there like you have it. Guess that's under there. But you know what I mean? Pick a side, pick a side. So I picked that side. Again, you could do different things, you know, but it's good to not go in the middle. At least I find that you're going to get a more dynamic pose, choosing, you know, how to distribute the weight, you know, so it doesn't feel too even or floaty. So, all right, moving on with our lives. Great job, sir. And let's see who's next. Miss Sarah. Beautiful drawing. Come on, look at that. Awesome. So pretty. Such a nice line. Oh, for you Instagrammers, I'm going to make this drawing a little smaller so you can see it in your window. There we go. And we got a couple more back there. But really lovely. Just a really nice feeling. Really nice stuff. So great job, Sarah. This one too, I thought this was really solid. I love how you have her hair going across the blade and then dropping down. It's like you get that real nice tension of her actually in the act of cutting her hair. I like your solution is so much more interesting than the one I even did with that correction drawing a minute ago. So really nice. what I do over here on mine. Yeah, I just did a straight thing. So really pretty. And here's Mirabelle and Mr. Abe. Another Abe. Looking good, Mr. Abe's over there. All right, moving on over here to your Mirabelle drawing, Sarah. Here, let's see. This one, looking pretty good. I guess she's hanging up her stuff here. I'm just nudging, so hang in there. Hang on a second. Okay. I was wondering, and sometimes naturally it happens. I don't know, but I'm always trying to figure out how we could do the hip and the shoulder angles. You know, at least some variation, either opposites or some variation. But she is in this act of hanging up, you know, decorations. This is again, for those of you who are joining us, this is Mirabelle from Encanto. That was our theme a couple weeks back. And this is obviously the back view of her. And so I'm looking at that hip angle and the shoulders, they look a little even. So I'm wondering, can I just maybe raise this up a little bit? Maybe drop that one down a little bit. Just to, when those two angles get even, things flatten out. So this is why I'm trying to nudge here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, Matt was remembering this pose, and he was saying that the model was basically doing a, things were going in the same direction. So for the sake of trying not to make a flat drawing, it's like move things around, you know, from what the model's doing, you know. Put her on her tippy toes, something like that. Really stretch it, which I think you did pretty good with that back leg. That was nice. So yeah, just doing something to mix it up a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. But really nice work, Sarah. Kind of rocking it, man. Woman. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Abe Lincoln. So nice. Yeah. I don't know. These look great. This one, maybe you could push it a little bit more. But I feel like overall pretty good. You know, I might mess with the silhouette just a little bit. Let me get him in the frame here so my head's not overlapping. Okay, just a quick one here. I might push the acting a little bit. It's a solid drawing, right? You get all the things working, but I might push the acting a little bit. You know, I might break the silhouette here of his body with that thing he's got, a document or whatever he's holding. He had that trench coat on or whatever, that long jacket. Yeah. Kind of grabbing his beard. I don't know. Just, I think you could push it a little bit and start with the idea, push that idea. Does that make sense? Like, and that might dictate. It's like, is he frustrated? You know, is he pacing back and forth? Is he angry at somebody? Did he forget his keys? You know. So it's like, what happened here? So overall, a solid drawing, but sometimes maybe just push it a little bit. Okay? All right, great work, Sarah. Moving on to Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott with the good drama. The good drama, for sure. Yep. I think I just shrunk down the wrong drawing. Where is it? Okay. Really nice feeling in this, Scott. Like a lot of rhythm. Proportions look really nice. A little long on the torso maybe, but overall, just a lot of great movement in this. Looks really good. This one, I feel like maybe missing a little bit on the neck side. So let's mess with this one a little bit. I love that straight in the arm. You can feel that power, you know. I don't want to mess with your flow here at all, but I feel like, can we do something? Maybe drop her shoulder here a little bit. She's getting a little bit, like everything's up here, you know, and I almost want to drop, like, let's see, drop that shoulder down. I want to keep that nice straight that you have, but let's see. You know, work with what you got there with that. Let's see. We never did our Mulan drawing tutorial. That'd be fun. We'll have to do that on Discord. I haven't done the Discord live thing yet. Try that. All right, so yeah, just trying to break that silhouette, opening up that whole area there of this whole area, so you can see, you know, so she can see a little bit. Cool. But that's it, Scott. Great work. Great work, sir. As usual. Powerful stuff. Good rhythm. That's right. Matt said, looks like she's casting a spell. All right, Mr. Luke. This looks like Encanto. Another Mirabelle. I like this pulling one down here in the corner. Looks like she's trying to get her drawer open. Okay. I like some of the scenarios you do. This one where she's kind of bummed out and sad. Just messing around a little bit with proportions, maybe. I think that sad one you have over there looks pretty good. Where she's holding her heart or whatever. That looks pretty good. This one, let's see. Hang with me a second. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, cool. So again, those of you on Instagram, we have Q&A. So not only are we just doing our members' drawings, but we're also taking Q&A from you guys. So chime in. Any artists out there in Instagram? Instagram Live? Yeah, but if you're in Instagram Live, go ahead and if you're an artist, let me know. Or if you're just hanging out, say hanging out. Gonna make some room here. All right, there we go. Dory, what? Dory asked, "Hey Todd, other than striking the pose yourself, do you have any suggestions for getting yourself into the mood of the character? Just curious of your experience with quote unquote going there over the years." Um, yeah, definitely striking the pose yourself helps, because you could feel like the mechanics of things and how the weight is being distributed. Or if you're filming yourself for a complicated piece of animation and getting those mechanics right and seeing how the body's tilting and moving and things like that. Reference is always helpful, because you have to make, even though you're filming yourself, it's not rotoscoping. I mean, you can rotoscope stuff, but what's the fun in that, right? But like at least in my opinion, but the benefit is finding the mechanics and then translating that into the character. But I would say to answer your question, I would say asking a lot of questions, about your character. And this is why in our workshop we try to sometimes do the quick briefing, we call it, just to take a look at the costume, and then that's why we talk a lot in our workshop about the character itself, just to kind of get everybody's, who is this character? Who is Mirabelle from Encanto? Like, what's her personality like? And once you start asking a lot of questions, right, you start to get into the head of the character, and you start asking, oh, well, how would Mirabelle be sad? Would she be big and dramatic like this pose that Luke is doing? Would she be contained, a little bit more reserved like Mulan? Um, the way Mark Hen animated Mulan, um, I would say she's a lot more reserved when she's really upset. And yeah, so it's like asking a lot of questions. Um, like I'm working on a project right now for work, and it's it's brand new to me, but the team has been on it a long time, and so for me it's new because I'm coming in, and it's like I've got to ask a lot of questions, right, to get the context. And then once I understand the context or understand a character, um, it starts to happen. You know, you gotta be. You hear that word a lot, like in the art world. It's like you gotta be curious, right? Like how much do you care about your character, you know, or getting a good performance. So Luke, I've just been talking and babbling here, but I've been fixing your proportions a little bit. She got a little long on the torso. That arm's a little long on her Mirabelle's right arm, and I kind of my arm looks a little weird here, but I tried to straighten out that angle and just not that it has to be that pointy, but just making that arm a little bit clearer as a silhouette, because it really does help point to her gesture here with her head. Okay, so all in all, and I love how you explore your stuff, dude. It's good. All right, Dorian. Speaking of Dory, who asked that really great question, um, here's Dory's work. Let's shrink that down a little bit. There we go. Cool stuff, Dory. Okay. Nice feeling on it. Proportions are looking pretty good. I feel like, and again, I bet you the model was being this uh, straight up and down, but I feel like we can take some of these angles and mess them up, even if it's subtle, because not everything has to be this big banging, weight on one side and da 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 da, right? I feel like we can still do something interesting, but subtle. She was stoic. That's funny. She was Matt's in my ear saying that our motto was very stoic that day, and Milan was, she could be pretty reserved, especially in the dress. But she had come off of 2 performances that day, so she was a little wiped out at a local theater. So I was just happy that she came out to see us. All right, Dory, so I'm just searching here. Let's see. Searching. Yeah, I'm even, let's see. I'm just trying stuff. So I'm going to tuck her chin down. She could still be looking to the side. Let's see, what else can we do? Yeah, man. Dory said he wants to study more acting theory. That is a great idea. Yeah, I'm just kind of changing things up, Dory. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of variation in things. I was trying not to do anything too dramatic, just to try it. But yeah, I don't know. That's about it. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Same thing here a little bit, and this will be our last drawing. It looks like she's a little perturbed. Oh, that's right. This was with Cricky. So again, there was a drawing I did feedback a little bit ago about, I think it was Corey's sitting Lincoln pose. Just picking a side a little bit, and things got a little bit even, like straight up and down, And I feel like we can, maybe she's startled because Cricky is in the thing. So I almost want to either reverse that back, like that arc in the back. Like she's like, ugh, she could be chest out, but I feel like, again, let's pick a side. You know what I mean? So I'll pick chest out, and I want to bring the T out here. So maybe. Oh, the scratch disc's full. Man, this is all the tech gremlins tonight, man. Jeez. We had the monitor stop working. We've had, what else do we have? We had the keyboard stopped working. This is what I get. Scratch disk is full even though I deleted a bunch of stuff. Come on, man. But the show must go on, Matt. I'm telling you. Queen has a song like that? Awesome. Dory says, I think I have a tendency to forget how flexible the spine is. It's really a giant limb, isn't it? I don't know if I consider it a limb or not. I'm not the science guy, but um, it is flexible. And line of action, we talk about line of action quite a bit, right? It's such a great foundational drawing tool. It's, I would say most of the time, it's directly related to the spine. So think about that. It's like, is it going to be chest out, rounded back, like, you know. So anyway, I just picked a side. I just kind of pushed her back. I probably could have done a lot more. That's for sure. Probably could have pushed her back even more or brought her arms out further away from her. So, yeah. And then Cricky's in the T here. But what I did is pulling the T away from the silhouette, having her lean back, it kind of gives it a little bit more, and I opened up this area here to the main point of view. So like staging your gag, is a really important thing, okay? And that's what I love about our workshop is, we're basically practicing staging every week, And staging is basically your, whatchamacallit, you're presenting your idea in the clearest way. So, all right, so that's it. Cool. He says, all good, no worries. Good. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Gremlins? Yeah, there you go. Anyway, thank you, Dory, for submitting your work, and everybody else. That was it. Can you believe it? We fit in like 3 weeks of drawings. Not too shabby. Wow. Yes. Oh, cool. We got one more comment from Dory. The fight against parallels and tangents. Oh, yes. Yeah, tangents. Oh my gosh. Speaking of Mulan, so I worked on Mulan, and I was on the cleanup unit of that character, of the main character, for 2 years, and that's really where I cut my teeth in animation. And boy, if you ever did a tangent, which is basically 2 lines like connecting where they're not supposed to, it makes all this tension, and the drawing just goes flat. You had to choose one way or the other, and it was like, if you did a tangent, boy, you would get called out. Like, there was no messing around in that movie. And it was one of those films, like, oh my gosh, like the quality control was at a premium, and I learned so much, and such a rewarding experience, And if you look at that film, it's absolutely beautiful. It's just crafted so well. So anyway, that's it. What was I going to say? What's that? Oh, Matt says he likes hearing my war stories. Yes, we got lots. Maybe we could figure out some more of those war stories next week. But anyway, guys, have a great night. Thanks for chilling out with us for a little bit tonight, going over some drawings, and come draw with us on Saturdays. Yeah, you can check the link in my bio. Go to allingesture.com. It's $1 for your first time. So there's a promo code. I think it's first, and you could go and join us this week. This weekend we're doing Samwise Gamgee. We've done a Hobbit before, Actually, Mr. Matt, who's the one talking in my ears tonight, he was a Hobbit a couple years ago, and he was absolutely fantastic. And but we're specifically doing Samwise Gamgee character this time around, and we have our model Ralph. Ought to be interesting, Samwise. But he's going to be back with us. He's one of our favorites, class favorites, and again, we're doing this theme of gratitude, and Samwise Gamgee really reflects that quality. That's for sure. So, anyway, go to bed, brush your teeth. If you're in California, go to dinner. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks so much, you guys. Appreciate your time tonight, and we will see you next time. All right.